Hello, Facebook. Lisa Carpenter here, transformational life and nutrition coach. And today I'm popping in to talk about, sorry, my tripod is bouncing around because I didn't untangle my cord. Real life when you're going live. But today I wanted to talk about not my wobbly tripod, but a topic that is near and dear to my heart, which is adrenal fatigue. This is a message that more women need to get, whether you're a busy entrepreneur or just a busy mom. I'm going to talk about some of the symptoms that you need to be on the lookout for and how you can go about healing your body and why your nutrition is so incredibly important. Along with self-care. So let's dive in, and hopefully some of you will join me live. If you're coming on to watch the replay, thank you so much for hanging out with me and giving me your time. Hopefully it will be incredibly beneficial, or you'll know somebody who needs to hear this information, and by all means, please share with your friends. So adrenal fatigue. If you're like most women that I work with, we tend to have incredibly busy lives. We're juggling kids, we're juggling friends and family. Some of us are running our own businesses. There never seems to be enough time, and we always end up at the bottom of our pile. Now, I always took time in my life to make sure I was eating well and exercising, of course, because that's my wheelhouse, that's my default. But for the majority of women that I work with, that is not their default. Taking care of themselves with nutrition and with exercise is not their default. That's the thing they have to go do, okay? And even with taking really, really good care of myself that way, I was still very much a doer. I was a control freak. I was busy all the time. I was up at the crack of dawn, and I would go until the wee hours in the morning. Hey, Heidi, I was thinking about you. That's why I'm talking about this, because I think I told you a long time ago I would come on and talk more about adrenal fatigue. So this is just for you. So I'm so glad you're here live. And it's way more fun when I have people on live than when I'm just, talking to the screen. So make sure you jump in. So I'm going to go through some of the symptoms of adrenal fatigue, which basically, you're burning your candle at both ends. Your body is desperately trying to keep up to your stress levels. And part of the problem is we don't recognize that our stress levels are unreasonable because we've normalized them, right? So running a business, juggling my kids, doing all the things was so normal to me, I didn't realize that it was stressful on my body. In fact, I thought I was a rock star because I could do all this stuff, and look at me, right? Like I really wore busy like my badge of honor, as most of us do. And I didn't want help from anybody. God forbid I asked for help. I would never ask for help because that would look like I was weak and couldn't do it myself. And why would I want to look that way? I now know differently. Asking for help is actually one of my biggest strengths, and learning to receive is so important in terms of our healing and our emotional and physical well-being. We must learn to receive, ladies. So we're going to bomb through these symptoms, and I've got my notes here, which is why I keep glancing over here. So the first one that you're going to notice if your adrenals are getting super tired, so your adrenals are your get up and go, right? Your adrenaline needs to be higher in the morning. That's kind of your cortisol needs to be higher in the morning. That's your get up and go. And then in the evening, that's when your body should be starting to move into these periods of rest and relaxation. That's when your body starts producing melatonin. When your adrenals are fatigued, the problem is you get up in the morning and you got no get up and go at all. But come, 8, 9 o'clock at night, you're on fire. You're ready to do the laundry, vacuum the house, grow a new business, you name it. Like what needs done? Because I got tons of energy. So that is a symptom that your hormones have flipped upside down, and that second wind in the evening is actually not a good thing. So one of the hardest things for me, because I really loved that second wind, it was like, yes, now I can work until midnight and get stuff done. I had to learn to override that. So I had to go to bed even though I was like, but I'm not tired. because my body was pumping out high levels of cortisol, which was making me like want to go do stuff. So if you're getting a second wind in the evening, not a good sign. Not a good sign, especially if you're dragging your ass in the morning as well. Hey, Nina, it's 2 in a row for you today. You're on fire. Okay, symptom number 2, your sleep sucks. Your sleep sucks. You wake up never feeling rested. So I was just talking about this. You drag your ass out of bed, and caffeine is like, just put it in, just find the vein and just shoot me up. Okay, so now you're putting tons of caffeine in your body to try and perk your body up, and your body just like, oh my God, I'm so tired because you've so burnt me out, right? So we're using caffeine as a stimulant to, like, again, we're trying to push our bodies when our body is sending us a signal, like, I'm tired, I need to rest, like, give me a break. We're like, no, get up, keep working, keep going, have more caffeine. So the caffeine actually makes it all worse, right? We're just perpetuating the problem. So if you're not sleeping well, you have a second wind, you wake up feeling like crap, 2 symptoms, not good. Number 3, you catch every single bug going around, and you cannot remember the last time you weren't dealing with the sniffles or a cold. Sound familiar? So you'll notice it even more this time of year because our little petri dishes are back in school and they're bringing things home. So if you constantly find that you can't seem to get your energy, you always seem to be picking up something, you can't seem to shake it, it's not about you needing to wash your hands more, although that wouldn't hurt. You actually need to slow down. Your body, again, is telling you we don't have the resources to fight this off because you burnt us out. So chill out. Number 4, this is a good one. You ladies will like this. You're digging through your kids' drawers in the back of the cupboards like a mad woman looking for any piece of chocolate or candy to soothe your cravings. So your sugar cravings are literally off the hook. Like PMS cravings all the time. So a lot of times we think these cravings are, we can't really figure them out. Again, our body is sending us signals that stuff isn't right because we're not naturally designed to be craving sugar 24/7. But again, sugar, like caffeine, is that artificial pick-me-up. If I have sugar, I'm going to feel better. So our body starts to crave it because it's looking for the thing that's going to help it feel better. Okay, so sugar cravings are insatiable. Pay attention to that. Because a lot of people think, okay, well, I just need to go on a sugar detox, which you probably do need to cut out sugar, but it goes deeper than that, and I'm going to talk about that. Number 5, your body hurts and aches all over, and you're starting to understand what feeling old looks like. So maybe you're exercising, and you're not necessarily doing crazy hard stuff, but you're just sore all the time. Your joints are sore, you feel achy. Again, it's like feeling like you're 80 when you're in your late 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s. And just wondering like, why? Why am I aching all over and not being okay with that? So that's symptom number 5. Number 6, your sex drive drove away and it doesn't look like it's coming back. So at any age, we're meant to have a certain amount of libido. Sex is free, it's fun, and it helps us feel feminine, right? It's part of masculine energy, it's part of feminine energy, it's part of being a human being. And when your sex drive disappears, that is, again, your body saying something is not okay here. So I know a lot of you ladies might be like, oh, I'm glad that mine's gone. I'm glad I don't even have to deal with that. And that's totally cool if that's how you feel. But it still doesn't make it okay that it's not there. It doesn't make it okay that it's not there. So again, symptom that your hormones are completely out of whack. Your digestive, so this is number 7, okay? Your digestive system seems to be tied in knots with bloating, constipation, diarrhea, heartburn, and indigestion. So nothing good is going on down here. It's good, you got no sex drive, so you don't have to worry about being bloated in bed. But nobody wants to have their stomach upset. Nobody wants to be bloated and feeling crappy and on the toilet. No pun intended. Okay, so again, your body is screaming at you, something is not good here. Something is not good here that you need to address. But this is where we start looking for, antacids and what can I do to fix this? Or maybe I'm sensitive to gluten. Maybe you just need to slow down and look at all the elements of your life. Okay? Not that you might not be sensitive to gluten, but I hope you get what I'm saying, right? We're always looking for the fix. We're looking for the fix out here instead of looking for the fix in here. And when you start to look at yourself first and your lifestyle, things will start to change, not just temporarily, but indefinitely. I'm big on people taking responsibility for their stuff first. It's not about being perfect, just start paying attention. Number 8, this is another awesome one that women love. Our hair starts to fall out and starts to thin. And we think, wow, this is not cool. No sex drive, my hair's falling out, I'm aching all over, and I'm bloated. Awesome. That's a great way to live. So if massive amounts of your hair is falling out and you really notice that it's thinning, again, your body is slowly shutting down and saying, what do I not need to tend to? What's not important here? Hair growth, not at the top of the survival chain in terms of what your body needs to take care of. Number 9, and this is actually the symptom that was the symptom that made me realize something was seriously wrong, because everything else, my sleep, well, I had kids, I could justify why I was sleeping crappy, and, achy, well, I'm in the gym all the time, so of course I'm going to be sore. Second wind in the evening, I personally didn't think that was a problem. I was like, yay me that I've got this second wind. I'm with 2 kids, I didn't really notice the sex drive, whatever. Right? I was busy. I had stuff to do. I was up at the crack of dawn and I was up late. So I didn't really have time for sex anyways. So this though was the symptom that knocked me on my ass and made me go to my doctor and then to my naturopath to really get under what was going on, because I knew that there was something that was really, really wrong. I was dizzy all the time. I was dizzy when I would roll over in my bed. I was so dizzy that I couldn't function. I couldn't do my job. It made me feel sick all the time. Now, when I went to my doctor with this symptom, he told me that I had vertigo, which just didn't seem right. He gave me pills for it. And I was like, it's not vertigo. I know it's something more. By this time, I was really starting to say and realize there's more going on. Intuitively, I just knew. I went to my naturopathic doctor, and what was happening was my blood pressure was so low, because I'm already so incredibly fit and healthy that I have very low blood pressure anyways. But my blood pressure had literally dropped so low because of my adrenals were so fatigued that my body was just like, you just have to lie here and not move. So I had to start salting all my food. Yay me! I had to start salting all my food to help elevate my blood pressure. And I had to go on some different herbal medication to get my blood pressure up and to support my adrenals and to support my cortisol levels. My body actually wasn't producing a ton of cortisol, which is why I was starting to feel so tired all the time and then dizzy on top of it. So I was a real hot mess. Number 10, you can't shake feeling anxious or sad depending on the day. So your emotions are really all over the place. And I was experiencing this. I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of emotional ups and downs. And again, it was just because my body was like, oh, you really, really need to pay attention to me. So those are the 10 symptoms. So I'm going to run through them again really, really quickly. You get a second wind in the evening. Your sleep sucks and you wake up never feeling rested. You catch every bug going around, so you're constantly sick with the sniffles. You have insatiable sugar cravings. Your body hurts and aches all over. Your sex drive is no more. Your digestive system isn't working properly. Gas, bloating, indigestion, IBS, constipation, diarrhea, you name it, all wrapped up in one little pretty package. Your hair is thinning or falling out. It is good, isn't it? You're starting to feel dizzy if you go from lying down to standing up. So that's when you'll notice it the most, is when you get up quickly. All of a sudden you'll be like, whoa, what is going on? And you can't shake this feeling of being anxious or sad. So how did I recover from adrenal fatigue? So I am luckier than most women, like I said, because the foundation of my work is fitness and nutrition. So my body was already super healthy. I didn't present like most women who have high levels of cortisol, because if you have high levels of the stress hormone cortisol, you tend to gain weight around your midsection. So that's actually another symptom as well, weight gain around your middle that just like it won't go. I didn't present that way because of how I eat. My weight doesn't change a lot. So the obvious symptoms weren't there for me. But a lot of women will see weight that just won't come off. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. They exercise more, their weight goes up, which is also what happens when you're suffering from adrenal fatigue and high levels of cortisol. Your body really needs you to do less in order to heal. So like I said, I had to see my naturopathic doctor. I went through a 24-hour urine panel. That was good times, peeing in like a jug for 24 hours. They were able to send that off to a lab, and I got a full report back on my hormones, which was so validating for me. I remember bursting into tears because it was like I knew that there was something wrong with me, but I didn't know what. And my entire lifestyle was compromised. Now, because of how I eat, the food I put in my body, and what I teach within my EAT program, your food is the foundation for your recovery from adrenal fatigue. What you put into your body allows your body to regenerate itself. So that was literally like, thank God I was eating the way I was eating during this stressful, busy time of my life, because it was really the only thing that kept my body running. And for most women, they're not eating healthy, and they're literally falling apart. They look like crap. And I'm not talking about, excess weight gain. I'm talking about bags under your eyes and your skin a horrible color and just looking run down, tired, older than you are all the time. So recovering from adrenal fatigue is more than just popping supplements. It really is about stepping into a new level of self-care. It's about getting to bed early, even if you got that second wind, making a commitment to yourself that you need rest, because unless you're a cyborg, you need between 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. You're not that special, again, unless you're a cyborg or something. It's making a commitment to learn how to work with your nutrition to support your body. So again, this isn't about dieting or losing weight. A lot of the women inside my EAT program are there because they really need to learn how to manage their food so they can feel their best. Because if you start flooding your body with a bunch of carbohydrates when you have adrenal fatigue, that's just kind of feeding the sugar bug, which does not perpetuate healing. So understanding food in a new way so that you can actually heal your body and give it everything it needs to make a full recovery is so, so important. You have to become your number one priority in your life, in your business, and with your family. It means instead of you getting the leftover scraps from the day, you actually get to be the most important part of your day, from, taking time to chill out, slow down, have a nap. Horror in the middle of the day, how indulgent. Rest when you're tired. Do nice things for yourself. When was the last time you checked in with yourself about the things that you like to do to fill your bucket? It might be sitting in a corner reading a book. It might be going out for a walk with a friend. It might be going out and getting a tea. It could be sitting down and writing or journaling. Self-care can look any way you want it. Listening to music. But it's saying that you get to matter in your life, and you've got to stop putting down being busy all the time and start actually being and living and creating the life you want for yourself. You can't create a healthy life if you're chasing after it out there. You have to start in here. If you're killing yourself at the gym to try and take off weight that's not budging, do less. When I was recovering from adrenal fatigue, I actually stopped going to the gym as frequently. I took a lot more rest. Guess what? I didn't fall apart. Sometimes we have to do what's counterintuitive. So if we feel like our weight is going up, we think we have to exercise more. Not always the case. You need to exercise less quite often. I also highly recommend to women, when possible, to work out earlier in the day, because that matches your body's natural hormone rhythm, as opposed to going to the gym at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Your body really wants to prepare for sleep. So if you can avoid working out in the evening, do it. And especially if you're struggling with a lot of these symptoms that I mentioned, try and get to the gym earlier, because that's how you're going to support yourself. Okay, Leanne, you had pneumonia and you're still feeling low in energy. And as a busy mom of 3, you give to everyone and leave yourself depleted. I need to self-care more. Yes, you do, and learn to give to you. Pneumonia, right? So getting sick from pneumonia, that's a pretty big one. So I talked about how one of the symptoms is getting sick all the time. You want to start to pay attention to that. And really take care of yourself. Self-care is not a luxury. It's a non-negotiable. It is a cornerstone in you creating good health for yourself, right? But we look at it as women as like, oh, it's a luxury. It's not a luxury. So if you have a ton of these symptoms, like Amanda here has posted, get yourself to your naturopathic doctor and have the conversation. I probably do either a live stream or I've done posts on my blog about adrenal fatigue many times, because every single time I do, if one woman hears about this who hasn't heard about it before and gets herself to her doctor and starts to turns things around, that's why I'm on this planet. That's why I'm on this planet. My job is to help support women lead an empowered lives around food and their bodies. Wow. Like, that's what I do. That's what I get to do every day. So let's talk a little bit about food and the foods that you can eat to support yourself as you're recovering from adrenal fatigue. So healing your body is an inside out job that goes from your emotional well-being to your physical well-being. So inside my program Eat, I talk a lot about the mindset and, the being and the doing. So I want you to slow down in your life in terms of the busyness, but what you need to start doing is making sure the food you're putting in your body, again, is going to be supportive around your healing. So keep it simple. Keep it simple. This is what I tell my class. If it walks the earth, flies in the sky, comes off of a tree or a bush, grows in the ground, swims in the ocean, you can eat it. That's pretty simple. If it comes from a package and the list of ingredients is longer than your arm and ties your tongue into a knot trying to pronounce it, put it back. I don't care how many health check symbols it has on it. Nothing is going to make your body look or feel its best better than foods that are from the earth, as Mother Nature provides them. And I get it's not convenient, but guess what? You need to slow down and make this a priority. Okay? It can get easier as you go. The more you learn, the easier it becomes. But if you're going to make your health a priority, then you have to be willing to slow down and step into taking responsibility for some of this stuff. You're welcome, Sue. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay. So I want you focusing on lean proteins, unrefined carbohydrates. So carbohydrates from the earth, eaten in moderation, right? So a lot of the women I work with, they come to me and they're eating like tons and tons of carbohydrates, not even realizing that they're carbohydrates because they think they're proteins, like chickpeas and beans and lentils. Those are carbohydrates. They're not proteins. They have a little bit of protein in them, but they are not true sources of protein. Okay, they have protein in them. They are good quality foods, but they are predominantly a carbohydrate, not a protein. So most women come to me, they're not eating enough true source proteins. So you want to limit your carbohydrates. You want to keep it in moderation, 2-3 servings a day max, and it really depending on the individual. High doses of healthy fats, so high doses of omega-3s, things like your fish oil and your flax oil. So a lot of people will say to me, well, I'm having ground flax seeds. That's great. I still think you need to supplement with an oil. Most women aren't taking an omega-3. Maybe they're taking pills and maybe they're taking a couple pills a day. You can do a lot better than that. So normally about 5 milligrams of oil per day, that's like a teaspoon for women of omega-3. So even if you were to take a straight flaxseed oil, that's going to be hugely beneficial. Nowadays you can buy really great tasting fish oil, which I know sounds so weird, but it doesn't even taste like fish oil anymore. I mean, you can buy pina colada flavored if you want, but get in your omega-3s. So important for your healing, for your hormone health as we age. It helps us to, it helps keep our carbohydrate cravings at bay. Helps your body burn fat as fuel. I can't say enough good things about omega-3s, and most women are deficient in them. So get them in. Taking a breath. Lots of leafy green and colorful vegetables. So if you're like me, I've got a sweet tooth, I love fruit, you got to eat more vegetables. Okay, you've got to eat more vegetables, and your leafy green ones are the best. So if you're getting in at least, 2 servings of fruit a day and, anywhere from 3 to 6 servings of vegetables a day, double thumbs up. Most people aren't. This is going to give your body a solid place to recover from. So important. So hopefully, I think this was, sorry I'm talking so fast, but hopefully this information was valuable to you. Like I said, if you know somebody who needs to hear this, by all means, please share it out in the interwebs. If you're interested in learning more about my EAT program, so if you're really wanting to grasp, how you put all your food together, how you can go into this place of recovering and actually using food to help heal your body. My program EAT is open for registration. The old sales page is up right now at lisacarpenter.ca/EAT. You can check it out. The new sales page is going up hopefully in a couple days. I don't even try and be perfect and polished. It's not what I teach. It's not how my business is run. So, why is EAT so important? You'll never unknow the stuff that you've learned in the classroom. So whether you're going to your naturopathic doctor and she says, you know what, I don't think you have adrenal fatigue, but I think you got IBS. So now we got to do an elimination diet. And then you look at her and go, oh my God, there's nothing here I can eat. Anybody who's gone through my program always knows what to eat. So an elimination diet is not a big deal. If somebody said to them, well, you can't have, X, Y, and Z, they'd be like, no problem. I got this whole other list of things to eat. And they would never feel deprived. That's pretty awesome. So yes, weight loss is possible. And a lot of my clients come into the EAT program because they're looking to lose weight. But the truth is, it's really a side effect of what happens when you start to think and feel differently about your body, your life, and your relationship with food. And I am so passionate about this because I do believe it's such a cornerstone in our self-care. And as women, we have to step up and start taking better care of ourselves. We can't keep taking on more and more responsibilities and trashing our bodies, right? Like, I want to be around for a lot of years. I want to enjoy my kids, and maybe even my kids. That would be pretty cool. And I don't want to just enjoy them from the comfort of my lazy boy. I actually want to be up and active and living my life and taking on the world when I'm into my 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. That is important to me. So that's why I make the choices that I make, because I want to feel a certain way. And I make my food choices based on how do I want to feel. Not following somebody else's plan, but what makes me feel the best? What do I need to choose to put in my body? So that's what I'm super passionate about because I want more women to be empowered about their food and about their health and about their self-care. So thank you, Holly. I'm glad you caught me live too. So, I need a glass of water. So I will sign off for the day. I usually try and keep my lives much shorter than this one, but there was a lot of content I wanted to deliver. If you guys found this helpful, I'm going to be coming on and talking about more stuff in the coming days, digging into food a little bit more, giving you some tidbits. So if there's any questions you have, anything you want to know, anything that this conversation sparked in you where you've listened to the replay and you're thinking, oh, I need to ask her that, or I'm curious about this, please make sure to leave a comment below. I'm happy to come on and answer your comments after the fact because the replay lives on. And hey, Sashi, nice to see you. So I will stop talking now. So thank you to everybody who joined me live and stuck it out for the entire length of this. I appreciate your time. I do not take it lightly. If you're interested in finding out more about EAT, by all means, head over to my website and check it out, lisacarpenter.ca/EAT, and you can learn a little bit more about the program. There's a ton of testimonials there, so randomly pick one and sit and listen to some of the women's journey who are inside that program. And if you're called to join, then hit the buy now button and you'll be in that program today. And I will be starting to teach those classes live on October 18th. So not only will you get the content that's inside the virtual classroom for life, but you'll also get the live coaching call starting October 18th. And once you're in the program, you always have access to any time I teach live and all the updates to the material, along with the private members only Facebook group that I host for all my alumni. And all of them attest to that being one of the favorite parts of the program, because they really get to connect, support each other, be real and raw in there. And that's how so many of them have really healed and continue to work on their relationship with food, because you can't get it right, you can't get it wrong, and you're never going to be done. You're going to be putting food in your mouth till the day you die. So you better learn how to do it in the best way possible so that you can feel your best all the time. So have a wonderful day, guys. Have a great Tuesday, and I will see you back Wednesday. And if you haven't checked out the podcast, head over there, because a new episode launched on Monday that is worth listening to. So that's all the stuff. All right. We will talk soon. Bye, guys.